Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about, so let's delve straight into the topic. So I am going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang, because I have been talking with you guys about Aubameyang on a regular basis. Then a bit later on in the video I am going to be giving you an update on some of Liverpool's transfer news. And then if I've got time, I will delve into further more topics on this video. So, let's start with Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. So, according to recent reports, Arsenal have pulled the plug on contract talks with Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, don't forget, recently, Aubameyang did ask Arsenal if he could leave. Now, I think, Arsenal do know from their perception how much of an imperative player that Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang is. But I think, Arsenal have come to accept the fact that he does want to leave. So obviously, Arsenal would rather cash in for him in this summer's transfer market rather than letting go on a free in the summer of 2021, because that's when his current contract does expire. Now, Aubameyang's father has actually, urged his son, to commit his long-term future with Arsenal and sign a new contract. I think Arsenal do want to recoup the £56 million that they paid for him from Borussia Dortmund back in January 2018. Aubameyang has been at Arsenal now for just over 2 years. But, Arsenal have been in talks for quite a while, trying to get him a new contract and stuff like that. And I think Aubameyang on his current deal is on around £200,000 a week. Now, the latest team to be interested in Aubameyang is Inter Milan. Now, I think it said from the Sun the other day, I know the Sun's not a reliable source, but they reportedly said that Aubameyang had spoken to some Inter Milan players. This is what it had said. And yeah, and it actually says, according to recent reports, Inter Milan now are emerged as the favourites to sign Aubameyang. Of course, Lautaro Martinez, I think, has been linked to a move away from Inter Milan. I think Barcelona have been in for him. Don't forget, Inter Milan did loan Mario Icardi out to PSG. And I also think Inter Milan are looking to get rid of him on a permanent transfer. So I think this is probably the couple of main explanations why they are in for Aubameyang. But, it's not only Inter Milan that have been in for him. Like I mentioned, Real Madrid have been in for him. Barcelona have been long admirers of the player. Don't forget my club, Manchester United, have expressed an interest in him. Don't forget, we've done business with Arsenal in recent years. Don't forget we got Alexis Sanchez off them back in January 2018. We also got Robin van Persie from them back in 2012. But I'm very sceptical that Aubameyang, will come to Manchester United. But I'll definitely, take him at Man United, if we got the opportunity to get him, because he's a cheap solution. It actually, said a couple of weeks ago that Arsenal had lowered their valuation. They'd taken around £15 million off his valuation. So it did say Aubameyang, was available for like in the £30-odd million range and that. But also, it does say that Chelsea have been, interested in Aubameyang. I think there's actually, a slight possibility chance, that Aubameyang could join Chelsea. Now, obviously, Chelsea still want Aubameyang, even though I think Olivier Giroud just recently agreed a contract extension. I think Chelsea are also looking to get rid of Batshuayi. I think they're also looking to get rid of quite a few other players as well. I think Pedro, Willian, Caballero and that. Chelsea, of course, do want to do, business, when the transfer market does reopen. I think Lampard has recruited around, 2 players in so far, if I'm right. I think, they got Christian Pulisic, was it, last summer? Well, they did get Pulisic, but, he got loaned back to Borussia Dortmund for the remainder of the season. So, no, I don't think they got him under Frank Lampard, actually. And, of course, they have signed Hakim Ziyech from Ajax, and he will join Chelsea in the summer, when the summer transfer market does open. I think Chelsea paid around £30-odd million for Hakim Ziyech. So yeah, so a number of clubs have been in for Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. Aubameyang is the age of 30. He's well proven in the Premier League. I think Aubameyang has scored like 49 Premier League goals in 75 Premier League appearances for Arsenal. And I think he's scored 61 goals in 97 games in all competitions. So Aubameyang is a prolific goal scorer. He is a prolific goal scorer, is Aubameyang. But I do really, really highly rate him. He's predominantly a central striker, but you can also put him out wide. Now, I also thought Aubameyang enjoyed a good 5 years, or was it 6 years, with Borussia Dortmund. He also played for Monaco when he was younger. I think he played for St Etienne as well, Lille, and I think he began his career in Italy, did Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. So obviously, Arsenal now obviously want to try and find an adequate replacement for the player. But yeah, revert back to what I said. They are looking to recoup the £56 million that they did pay for him from Borussia Dortmund. Aubameyang is one of Arsenal's most expensive signings, by the way. So yeah, so I don't, know where his next club is going to be, but I think, these are chances, that Chelsea could get Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang and that. But, like I've said, I've outlined Arsenal's problems. They are too much of a selling club. I think they need to buy more into their club than Arsenal, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Because like I've mentioned before, Arsenal have sold, quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. Like I mentioned, they got rid of Alexis Sanchez back in January 2018. Sanchez endured 3.5, or was it 4 years with Arsenal, and he did really, really well. He was exceptional for Arsenal, very, very versatile, but I think predominantly number 7. They got rid of Sanchez, but they also got Mkhitaryan, as part of the deal. We let Mkhitaryan go, don't forget. I think at the time, when there was negotiating on getting rid of Sanchez, I think, they should have got rid of Mesut Ozil instead. That's my perception on that. Don't forget, they also got rid of Jack Wilshere. He's another player Arsenal shouldn't have got rid of. They also got rid of Aaron Ramsey last summer. Of course, Aaron Ramsey endured 11 years with Arsenal. He was a very, very long-serving player for them. I think they got him from Cardiff for around £5 million. So he was another player they got rid of. Don't forget, they also sold Giroud to Chelsea. Maybe that's another player they should have kept. That's another player, they should have kept. Obviously, I think quite a few of their players didn't leave last summer, was it? If I'm right, Danny Welbeck left them. Lichtsteiner left them. Danny Welbeck, Lichtsteiner and Koscielny, they're other players that have left Arsenal. So they have let quite a few of their imperative players go, definitely. And also, too, there's not only rumours of Aubameyang leaving Arsenal, there's also talks of Lacazette leaving. I do really, really highly rate Lacazette, to be quite honest with you. Like I said, there's also talks of Mesut Ozil leaving, so there you go. So I think Arsenal will probably, get rid of quite a few of their players. Obviously, last summer they did recruit quite a few players in, they got Kieran Tierney in from Celtic. They also got David Luiz in. Wasn't their first choice, but they just saw that it was a cheap solution. I think Arsenal paid around £8 million for him. They also got Dani Ceballos in on loan from Real Madrid, but I don't think they're going to make that deal permanent. They also got Nicolas Pepe for £70 million. I think he's Arsenal's most expensive signing, if I'm right, is Nicolas Pepe. William Saliba, by the way, is going to be joining Arsenal when the transfer market reopens from St Etienne, so that's another centre-half they've got in. But them players they brought in, were under Unai Emery. Mikel Arteta, of course, has brought a few players in for Arsenal. Obviously, you got Pablo Marie back in January. It remains unknown at the moment whether Arsenal are going to get him permanently. Now, maybe they will get him permanently, but he hasn't enjoyed a fantastic start to his Arsenal career, Pablo Marie. They do have the option, to make the deal permanent. They have got him on loan at the moment. Don't forget they also got Cedric Soares from Southampton. He was another player, Mikel Arteta got in. I think he's predominantly right back, is Cedric Soares and that. I don't think yet Mikel Arteta has, signed anyone permanently. But, Arsenal have had quite a few players on their agenda, like he updated you the other day. They've obviously, heavily linked with Thomas Partey and that. But, Arsenal do want to get back dominating football again, like they did do for 12 years. Was it under the Arsene Wenger era? Wenger endured 22 years with Arsenal, but I thought, he enjoyed a good 12, 13 years, and then, he just lost it then, basically, did Arsene Wenger. I don't know if Mikel Arteta is the right man, to take Arsenal forward. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is inexperienced as a manager. Obviously, before he was at Arsenal, he was a coaching assistant at Man City for 3 years or so. You can maybe say he's learnt a few tips off Pep Guardiola. Arteta, was a very, very good player, though, for Arsenal. But I'd probably say he's the foreseeable future for them. Arteta is Arsenal's third manager this season, because before they had Arteta, they had Freddie Ljungberg, and obviously, before that they had Unai Emery, and Unai Emery endured 18 months with Arsenal, so there you go. But if they do get rid of Aubameyang, Lacazette and Ozil, I think, they will generate quite a lot of money for their departures. But yeah, so Aubameyang is on his way out of Arsenal Football Club. So that is the latest news on that. That's the latest news on that. Now, let's delve into some of Liverpool's transfer news. So, I've been reading reports from the mainstream media today, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans, will be very, very satisfied about this news. And this is stemming from Leeds End Sport. And it allegedly says that Jurgen Klopp has contacted Kylian Mbappe's father over the transfer from PSG, but it's alleged. Now, obviously, Liverpool are aware how much Kylian Mbappe will cost. He will probably cost around in the £200 million range. I think it did say in the Sun, Kylian Mbappe will cost around £250 million. Obviously, if Liverpool were to pay that, that would make him, the most expensive player in the world. So it would be a world record fee. As it stands at the moment, Kylian Mbappe is the second most expensive player in the world, because PSG did get him from Monaco on loan at the first. And then obviously, they've decided to get him permanently. And I think they paid around £166 million in transfer fees, did PSG. Now, PSG have given their overarching view on this, because, there hasn't only been Liverpool that have been in for Mbappe. Obviously, Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked to him. PSG have basically said, they'd rather, let Kylian Mbappe go on a free transfer when his current contract does expire in 2022. This is, what they've basically said. So they are not determined to sell Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid. But Kylian Mbappe, he's one of the best players in the world without a shadow of a doubt. I also highly rated him, when he was at Monaco. I think he can play centrally. He can also be deployed on the flanks as well. But, Kylian Mbappe, up until this point, has not played in the Premier League. So do you think, he'd live up to expectations if he was to come to the Premier League, Kylian Mbappe? I think he'd tear the Premier League apart, from my own perception. So yeah, reportedly, Liverpool have inquired about his availability, but Liverpool have been in for Mbappe before. They have been in for Mbappe before. Now, I think, for Liverpool to get Mbappe, like I've said, on videos from ages ago, Liverpool do need to sell one of their attacking trio in Salah, Firmino or Mane, to obviously, fund the move for Kylian Mbappe. Now, if Liverpool, were to sell Salah, I think Liverpool would definitely, get over £100 million for Mohamed Salah. Now, I think Salah's a very, very good player. Now, I don't think he's, been brilliant this season. I think, from my own perception, Mane has been in better form than Salah. I think Salah scored 70 goals in 100 Premier League appearances for Liverpool. He just hasn't been clinical enough, throughout the course of this season as Mohamed Salah. But I'm actually, very sceptical that Liverpool will sell Salah when the transfer market does reopen. But maybe Liverpool will sell Salah maybe in the next year or two, maybe. Same thing with Mane. I can't see Liverpool selling Mane, to be quite honest with you. And Real Madrid have been in for Sadio Mane. Liverpool, I think, paid £30 million for Mane, like they did with Salah. But again, I think Liverpool would probably get at least £100 million for Mane, to be quite honest with you. I think Firmino's also done very, very well for them, but he's only scored one goal, I think, at Anfield this season. So they need to sell one of that attacking trio, to get Mbappe on the board, so Mbappe can get game time week in, week out. If Liverpool were to sell that attacking trio, they'd definitely generate over £300 million, but obviously, that's not going to happen. So yeah, that's the breaking news today. Liverpool are in for Kylian Mbappe. So there you go. But I'm actually, very, very sceptical that Liverpool will get Mbappe, because I don't think Liverpool, will pay over £200 million for the player. So that's the latest news on that. But, they've also, got Nat Willian on their agenda. Now, I gave you the news on Willian, didn't I? Was it the other day? And Liverpool, can get Willian on a free transfer. Now, I've been reading recent reports, and it does say that Liverpool have held positive negotiations with Chelsea. This is what it has said, and I just read Caught Offside, and they said Willian's transfer to Liverpool is almost done. This is what it has basically said. Now, he's going to be, definitely leaving Chelsea. I think it also mentioned that Newcastle have been interested in Willian. I think, the Saudi Arabians have taken over Newcastle, or are going to take over Newcastle. Don't forget, they're going to pay around £300 million, and I think they are worth around £300 billion, are these owners in that. So Newcastle have got the richest owners in the Premier League. But I think, Liverpool actually, could get Willian from Chelsea. Of course, Willian's been a long-serving player for Chelsea. He's now into his 7th season with Chelsea. You know, Chelsea did get him back in 2013 from Anzi Makachkakala. That's, you know, where Chelsea got him from. They paid £30 million for him. And, you know, he's done very, very well for Chelsea. You know, can play as an attacking midfielder, can also play as a winner. Definitely, you know, Liverpool would use him as a squad player if they did get him in, because Willian is like, what now, 30, or is he 31 years of age, but well proven in the Premier League. So I think, you know, Liverpool have got a great chance of getting Willian in. But Liverpool, you know, do want to make signings when the transfer market does reopen, because, you know, they do want to continue this dominance up, definitely. Obviously, you know, Timo Werner, you know, Liverpool have also been relentlessly linked with Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. And like I said, Timo Werner, he's not on Mbappe's level, but, you know, he's a much cheaper solution than Mbappe, because he's going to cost Liverpool like 4 times less than Mbappe, because Werner is available for around £50 million. I think that's his release clause in his RB Leipzig contract. Now, don't forget, you know, Werner back in February was talking a hell of a lot about Liverpool. And, you know, he's basically saying that Jurgen Klopp is the best manager in the world, or one of the best managers in the world. And he actually, you know, made an admission recently, you know, saying that he does want to join Liverpool, Timo Werner. But obviously, you know, you've had the RB Leipzig sporting director coming out and saying there's been no approach for the player, or Liverpool haven't lodged any kind of bidding for the player. So it remains unknown, you know, whether Liverpool are going to sign Timo Werner. But again, you know, for Liverpool to get Werner, they'd have to sell one of their attacking trio, but he is a cheap solution. And I do really, really highly rate Timo Werner, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Now, obviously, you know, Timo Werner's into his 4th season with RB Leipzig. I think he scored 27 goals in 36 games this season. I think he's made like 118 appearances in the Bundesliga and scored around 72 goals. I think he's still got a contract with Leipzig until 2023. He's only the age of 23, or is he 24? Leipzig did pay around €10 million for him from Stuttgart. This is what they paid for him. He was also very, very good at Stuttgart, because he began his career at Stuttgart, did Timo Werner. Don't forget, became the youngest player ever to represent them, became their youngest goal scorer ever. And I think actually Timo Werner's the youngest player to reach 50, 100 and 150 and 200 Bundesliga appearances. So I think, you know, he would be a very, very good signing for Liverpool, would Timo Werner. Don't forget, you know, they have been in for Kai Havertz before, but I'm very, very sceptical, you know, that they will get him. So Liverpool, you know, have got quite a few players on their agenda. So that is some of Liverpool's transfer news. Obviously, you know, Liverpool did sign one player in the January transfer window, and that was Takuma Minamino from Red Bull Salzburg. Liverpool paid, was it just over £7 million for him, but Takuma Minamino, you know, tends to play in the cup games, but maybe next season, you know, he should get more opportunities to Takuma Minamino and that. But, you know, Liverpool, you know, will want to make probably around 2-3 signings, you know, maybe when the transfer market reopens. I think Liverpool are planning to get rid of around, is it 4 to 5 players, you know, when the market does reopen. I think definitely, you know, Liverpool will sell Nathaniel Klein. You know, Nathaniel Klein, of course, is very, very injury prone. You know, he's obviously, you know, a backup to Trent Alexander, because Trent Alexander is Liverpool's first choice right back. But I think they'll definitely, you know, get rid of Nathaniel Klein. Maybe Liverpool could get maybe like 10, maybe to £15 million for him if they were to sell him. I think they'll definitely, you know, get rid of Dejan Lovren. He's another player they'll get rid of. Very, very inconsistent is Dejan Lovren. Never really rated him, you know, when he was at Southampton, to be quite honest with you. You know, Liverpool have got a lot of centre-halves in their team. You know, obviously they've got, is it Van Dijk and Joe Gomez that are their first choice centre-halves. And obviously, you know, you've got Matip, who's one of their backups. Obviously, you know, you can say Dejan Lovren's also a backup. So they have got quite a few centre-halves in their team of Liverpool. But yeah, I think they'll probably, you know, get rid of Dejan Lovren. Maybe they could get 15, 20 million pounds for him. I think, you know, they'll definitely get rid of Adam Lallana. I don't think he's been a bad player for Liverpool, but obviously, you know, he isn't one of their first choice midfielders. I think he's set to leave on a free at the end of the season. And I think, you know, they'll also negotiate on getting rid of Shaqiri. You know, I think Sevilla have been recently, you know, linked with Shaqiri. He tends to make an impact from the sub, does Shaqiri. You know, like I mentioned before, he's not a 90-minute player. Dick Origi, his appearances are limited are Dick Origi. Still a very, very good player is Dick Origi, but I think, they could also negotiate on getting rid of him. There's still quite a lot of players in Liverpool's team, that have got foreseeable futures with them. But I think, maybe like if Joe Matip, I don't think he'll go in the summer, but maybe could go in the next year or two. Maybe same sort of thing with Naby Keita. I don't think Liverpool will sell him in the summer, but I think he'll go maybe in the next year or two on Naby Keita. Definitely in that. So yeah, Liverpool are definitely planning to get rid of players. But Liverpool have done very, very good transfer business with Southampton, because like I said, Liverpool have bought a lot of players, from Southampton. Like I said, they got Klein off Southampton, they got Virgil van Dijk off Southampton. Of course, they paid £75 million for Virgil van Dijk. Second most expensive centre-half in the world, but he is the best centre-half in the world, is Virgil van Dijk. So they paid £75 million for him. Can't remember how much, they paid for Adam Lallana, from Southampton, but I know they got him from Southampton. They also got Sadio Mane from Southampton. I think at one point they got Ricky Lambert from Southampton. So yeah, so Liverpool, have recruited, quite a few players from Southampton and all of that. And, I think also Liverpool are going to get rid of Harry Wilson on a permanent transfer. He's another player I nearly forgot to mention because he's on loan at Bournemouth at the moment, but I think probably, Bournemouth are going to get him on a permanent transfer and that. But I can definitely say, regarding Jurgen Klopp, he is the foreseeable future for Liverpool, definitely. Don't forget, Jurgen Klopp extended his contract early on in the season with Liverpool until 2024. I don't know if he'll see out his contract with Liverpool. Maybe he will see out his contract, but when he does eventually leave Liverpool, I think he will go back to Germany, will Jurgen Klopp. So that's one admission I am going to make. But yeah, he did extend his contract earlier on in the season. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp's been at Liverpool now over 4 years. This is now his 5th season with Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp. Of course, he has won 3 trophies with them so far. He won the FIFA Club World Cup earlier on in the season. He also won the Super Cup and he won the Champions League at the end of last season. So when Liverpool, do win the Premier League, it will be Jurgen Klopp's 4th major honour as Liverpool manager. But when they do win the Premier League, it will be their first ever Premier League title. It will be their first ever Premier League title, and it will be their 19th overall because, they have won 18 Old First Divisions at the moment, and they are going to end their 30-year drought because Liverpool, have not won the league for they haven't won the league for 30 years. So there you go. And if you want to put into the equation, what Jurgen Klopp won at Dortmund, I think he won, 2 titles at Dortmund and won a few other trophies. So he's won about 8 major honours in total or something like that. Isn't that? Obviously, Klopp was good at Borussia Dortmund before he was at Dortmund. He was at Mainz 05. Obviously, I think he actually, got Mainz 05 relegated, did Jurgen Klopp. Yes, he did in that. And don't forget, Liverpool did go on a 44-match unbeaten run this season. Obviously, Watford, were the team that ended their 44-match unbeaten run. But Liverpool have only lost 1 game this season in the Premier League, and that was to Watford. I think their last defeat in the league before Watford was Manchester City. 2-1, was it, that last April, if I can remember rightly. I think they've lost like 6 or is it 7 games in all competitions. But there you go. But, they will definitely win the Premier League with Liverpool because they only need 2 wins. They are sitting 25 points clear of Manchester City. They could possibly, break Manchester City's record from a couple of years ago. Don't forget, a couple of years ago, Manchester City, did finish on 100 points. Manchester City, did finish on 100 points. So there you go on that. But like I said, Jurgen Klopp is, the best manager, that Liverpool have had in, this generation. Like I said, they've had a lot of good managers up and down the generations. Obviously, before they had Klopp, they had Brendan Rodgers. He enjoyed, one good season with Liverpool. Also, that's when they had the likes of Coutinho, Suarez and Daniel Sturridge at that point. Obviously, Liverpool sold Coutinho in January 2018. They got £142 million from him, but then with that £142 million, they got Allington and they got Virgil van Dijk. Obviously, Kenny Dalglish, I don't think was so good for them. Roy Hodgson wasn't so good for them. Don't forget, they did have Rafael Benitez, they had Gerard Houllier at one point, but Klopp is definitely, the best manager, they've had in this generation. Since Jurgen Klopp got recommended in, Liverpool have spent around, is it £460 million on players, and they've recruited a lot of players in, since Jurgen Klopp got recommended in. So let's just put that into the equation. But Anfield is a fortress because I think Liverpool like unbeaten in 50 odd games at Anfield in the Premier League. Obviously, they've won the most Champions Leagues out of the English clubs. Liverpool, of course, have won 6 Champions Leagues in that. But yeah, so that's the latest news on that. I think I will be doing another video today. You saw my 2 previous videos that I did earlier on today. Now I'll give you my squad review. That's, of course, Manchester United squad. I also give you a review on our season so far, didn't I, on my other video that I did. So there you go. On my next video, I think I will be talking about Paul Pogba and that, because a bit more additional information is updated about him. I've just been reading the media as well, and it did actually say we had 9 players. Well, Solskjaer had 9 players on his transfer shortlist before Ed Woodward come out with his statement, because don't forget, Ed Woodward recently come out and insisted we may not do business as usual in the transfer market. So he's basically ruled us making big transfers. This is what he's ruled us out, making big transfers. Yes, he has. So, Ed Woodward insists, we won't be spending big. So that's put Jadon Sancho's move to Man United in doubt. Jack Grealish's move to Man United in doubt. But yeah, so this is what, Ed Woodward has confirmed. I think it said this to a fans forum, was it on Friday, if I'm right. So this is what, he has confirmed. But yeah, I will talk a bit more on my next video. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.